Here's your beautifully refined and formatted lecture, preserving all the depth while enhancing flow and clarity. Through which lens do we see? The divine perspective versus the worldly view. Introduction. The way we interpret the world around us, especially in times of crisis or hardship, depends entirely on the lens we choose to use. There are two distinct lenses: the worldly lens, which values material success, and the divine lens, which sees through the light of revelation and the Akira. The worldly lens versus the divine lens. The worldly lens defines success by power, popularity, and visible outcomes. It trusts the majority and evaluates progress by speed and results. The divine lens, on the other hand, 1. Measures success by sincerity, 2. Values obedience over outcome, 3. And links every event to the hereafter. Through the divine lens, what looks like loss may be elevation, and what seems delayed may be divine preparation. To the worldly eye, a prophet expelled from his land seems abandoned. An oppressed nation appears cursed. A lost battle feels like failure. But the divine lens reveals wisdom, mercy, and purpose in every step. This lens is not just a perspective, it's a divine gift. It was through this very lens that the Quran taught the companions of the Prophet ﷺ to see their world, anchoring their hearts in meaning amidst chaos. The lens that transformed defeat. The Battle of Uhud was a spiritual shock for the companions. They had fought for Tawheed, stood by the Prophet, and yet faced loss. Confused, they asked, how could this happen while we were on the truth? But Allah did not begin with answers. He began with perspective. Indeed, Allah has bestowed a great favor upon the believers when He sent among them a messenger from themselves. Surah Al-Imran 364. Only then did Allah unfold the wisdom behind Uhud, lessons in discipline, unity, and reliance on divine decree. What felt like defeat was in fact training for future victories. Hudaybiyah, the pause that was victory. The Treaty of Hudaybiyah seemed like loss. The Muslims were denied entry to the Kaaba, made painful concessions, and returned home seemingly humiliated. But then came the divine announcement. Indeed, we have granted you a clear victory. Surah Al-Fatih 48 verse 1. Hudaybiyah opened the path for peaceful dawah, unprecedented conversions, and the bloodless conquest of Makkah. The divine lens reveals what looked like a pause was precise strategy. Revelation. The anchor of the first generation. Revelation wasn't just historical, it was transformational. It gave the companions clarity, strength, and the lens to see the world through divine eyes. To recite the Quran is not enough. We must see through it, act upon it, and live by it. Gaza, through which lens will we see? Today, as we witness the ongoing crisis in Gaza, we face the same test. Not just of compassion, but of perspective. Will we interpret events through the lens of worldly defeat or divine wisdom and justice? What seems delayed may be strategic. What looks like defeat may be purification. And what the world calls weakness, Allah may see as the beginning of victory. Gaza through the divine lens of Surah Ibrahim. If we seek divine clarity, not just emotion, we find in Surah Ibrahim a powerful framework. This surah gathers the voices of multiple prophets, confronting tyranny with unshakable belief in truth. Surah Ibrahim speaks directly to our time. The conflict in Gaza is not just political, it is a clash of narratives, one rooted in Tawheed, prophecy, and the revival of the Ummah, the other in distorted scripture, colonial power, and fabricated supremacy. This is not just about land, it's about moral authority, spiritual truth, and the future of civilization. Surah Ibrahim helps us rise above confusion, anchoring us in timeless clarity. 3 anchoring messages from Surah Ibrahim. 1. Remember the days of Allah, divine patterns in history, and remind them of the days of Allah. Indeed, in that are signs for every patient and grateful one. Every generation had its Fir'aun and its AbuZaid, and in each Allah intervened, sometimes visibly, sometimes quietly, but always perfectly. 2. Tawakkul, our spiritual weapon. Why should we not rely on Allah while He has guided us to our paths? And upon Allah let those who trust place their trust. This was the cry of prophets under threat, and it is the call of Gaza today. Tawakkul is not passivity, it is courage rooted in divine certainty. 3. Connect everything to the Akhira. This world is not the end. The day the earth will be replaced by another earth, and all will appear before Allah. Surah Ibrahim 14:48. The divine lens teaches us to look past the rubble and see the martyrs, to look beyond silence and see divine accounting. Justice is never forgotten, it is only delayed, for the day when all will stand before the one who never forgets. Conclusion: the lens we must choose. In a world obsessed with instant outcomes, we are called to a higher perspective. Remember the days of Allah. Anchor your heart in divine history. Hold to top. Remain firm in a shaking world. Live for the Akhira, where all wrongs are righted. This is not just a surah, it is a divine lens, gifted to the believers who wish to see, not through reaction, but revelation. So, through which lens are you seeing? Would you